Good evening, everybody. We are here with your 16U AA Mid-State Mustangs for the quarterfinal game for the Mid-Atlantic Summer Showcase against the Valley Forge Colonials. This is a win or go home quarterfinal. So the Mustangs came out with a 5-2 win against Snyder Hockey Friday morning, a 6-0 win against Genesis Friday evening, and a 5-3 exciting win against Team Philadelphia this morning to put us into the quarterfinals. So again, this tournament, there were 18 teams in the division, and the top 8 teams go to the quarterfinals, win the quarterfinals, and you go to the semifinals, win the semifinals, and go to the championship game. So our Mid-State Mustangs are the home team in their white jerseys. The Valley Forge Colonials are in their blue and red jerseys. So we're just going through warm-ups right now. We have 1:20 left in warm-ups. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in with us. Lots of hockey this weekend. And again, the 10U, 12U, 14U, and 16U Mustangs are all at this tournament. And I know that the 14U are playing their quarterfinal game on the other sheet of ice here at Hatfield Ice Arena. So we wish them luck today. And I believe the 10U and 12Us play again tomorrow. So lots of hockey for all the Mustangs this weekend. Again, this is the quarterfinal game for the Mustangs against the Valley Forge Colonials. Hopefully I won't get my tongue tied trying to say either Valley Forge or Colonials. I'll probably go back and forth between the two to see which one's easier to say. So this rink seems to have pretty good Wi-Fi, so hopefully we'll be able to have some good streaming, be able to have the clock up there, some live replays from Chad, and be able to get you a good picture quality. We finally have a rink with good Wi-Fi this weekend. We've had some trouble with different Wi-Fis this weekend in all the different rinks that we've been at. So just getting ready to play. There's 15-minute periods, 2-minute penalties. Again, there are delayed offsides and no icing on penalty kills for 16U hockey. So we have basically standing only seating up on the balcony here, and then people along the glass. So we've kind of got a bird's eye view for you. Fortunately, it is through the netting, but hopefully you'll still be able to see okay. So the Mustangs are the first to break the huddle. This rink is much warmer than the rink this morning. That was a freezing rink. Okay, so Merrill's going to our net on the left. It looks like we're going to have Davis and Crum out on defense. Waite, Zanoble, and Downey out on offense to start for the Mustangs. So both teams are fired up, ready to go. 15 minutes up on the clock to start the first period. Downey will take the face off, goes back towards the Colonials, D to D pass again. Hard pass into the neutral zone, brings it around. That player goes down. Crum will pick this up behind the net, sends it to the corner. Zenoble hits that puck up along the boards. Still fighting for it. The Colonials keep it in. Shot saved by Merrill. So we'll try to zoom in just a little bit. It's kind of hard with the zoom and getting down in the neutral zone there. So down with the faceoff, another shot bounces off of Zenoble behind the net. Crum fighting for this puck. Still fighting along there. Downey picks this up, brings it behind the net. Downey hits it up along the boards. The Colonials keep it in, dump it down. From behind the net, we'll get it in the far corner. Hits it off of the boards. The Colonials do keep it in momentarily. Crum gets it over to Zenoble. Zenoble dumps it down into the corner. The Colonials will collect this behind the net. Good job by Zenoble to break up that play. Colonials have it into the neutral zone, broken up by Wenger and Brooks. Cross ice pass, broken up by the Colonials. Zenoble gets it up towards Wenger until the Colonials come in again. Sakrisky sends it up, D-to-D pass by the Colonials. Brooks putting pressure along that puck. Zero takes away that puck, takes it behind the net, changes directions over towards Brooks and Sakrisky. Sakrisky centers it, but Colonials pick that off. Puck dumped behind the net. Zero will collect this, passes it back to Brooks. Brooks up to Wenger. Wenger to Sakrisky. Sakrisky gets hit into the boards. Brooks gets that out into the neutral zone again. Brooks passes it over to Zero. Zero back to Brooks. Brooks up to Sakrisky, but Colonials pick that off. Colonials bring it into their offensive zone. Bounce it off the boards behind the net. Over to the far corner. Zero fighting to get to this puck along with Wenger. Wenger gets it up to Giesman. Giesman gets it out into the neutral zone, tries to get it over. Colonials hard pass, goes behind the net. Brooks will go back to collect, changes directions. Sakrisky on the near boards. Colonials keep it in, goes to Zero. Zero hits it around to the far boards. Brooks and Giesman coming in to get to that puck. The Colonials keep it in at the blue line. Good job by the Mustangs to get that out into the neutral zone, but the Colonials regroup, get back on sides. Colonials bring in, good job by Zero to break up that play. Sakrisky gets this puck in through the neutral zone. Sakrisky has some speed, passes it over to Kaufman. Kaufman tries to get a shot off, blocked by the Colonials. Colonials bring it behind the net. Colonials into the neutral zone. Shot, Merrill sheds it to his right. Mustangs get this up along the boards. Knob behind the net will go to the far corner. Gets it up to Kaufman. Kaufman changing directions. Puck gets stuck along the boards. Puck along the near boards. Bilodeau in along with Knob to try to get to that puck. Bilodeau gets that towards Eichfeld. Colonials keep that puck in. Shot saved by Merrill over towards Knob. Knob hits this out into the neutral zone. Bilodeau sends it up towards Eichfeld. A little bit of bouncing. Bilodeau with this puck centers it to the right of the goal. Colonials cross ice pass, bring it into the neutral zone. Downey breaks up that play. Downey with a shot, glove saved by the goalie. So lots of play there. 11-11 left in the first period. The score is still 0-0. We'll face off to the left of the goalie. You'll have Davis and Crum back on defense. Downey, Waite, and Zenoble on offense. Downey with the faceoff goes towards the goalie. Colonials bring it behind the net. Hard pass down. And that'll be icing. So we'll keep that same crew out there. Face off to the right of the goalie. So Downey with the face-off goes over towards Zenoble. Zenoble back towards Downey. Colonials pick this up. Zenoble at the circle, tries to get it centered. Broken up by the Colonials, who bring it behind the net. Waite tries to get to that puck. The Colonials send it up along the near boards. Colonials have it through the neutral zone, poke checked into the middle. Crum gets it out, but that'll be icing. So we'll face off to the right of Merrill. Looks like we're going to have Wenger, Lugar, Eichfeld. So shot by the Colonials, deflected to the side of the net. Sakrisky and Davis. So, sorry. Davis Crum, shot by the Colonials, blocked by Davis. Wenger gets it out towards Lugar. Lugar dumps it down behind the net. Wenger comes in to try to get to this puck. Lugar in assistance. Wenger centers it, goes off of the Colonials. Colonials hit it up and off of the netting. So we'll have Wenger, Sakrisky, Lugar, Brooks, and Zuro out for the Mustangs. Wenger with the faceoff goes back towards Lugar. Lugar centers it, but the Colonials pick this up and get into the neutral zone. Zuro passes it along to the near boards. Back to the D. Wenger breaks up that play momentarily. Brooks breaks up that play, gets it towards Lugar. Lugar gets hit hard there. Wenger picks up this puck. There's a delay penalty, so Merrill is out of the net. Brooks will pick this up. Brooks passes it over towards Lugar, and that'll be the delay penalty. So Merrill got over to the bench so that we could get another player on the ice for that delay penalty. So it looks like the Colonials will be going to the box for interference. So we'll be on a power play for 2 minutes. So we'll face off to the right of the goalie on this power play. We'll have Stoddard, Zuro, Kaufman, Downey, and Waite. So Waite with the faceoff goes to Downey. Downey back to Stoddard. Stoddard to Zuro. Zuro over towards Downey. Downey with a shot behind the net. Kaufman picks up this puck. Kaufman to Waite. Waite back to Zuro. Zuro back towards Waite, but the Colonials pick that off. Zuro tries to keep it in. The Colonials have a breakaway. The Colonials bring it around. Good pressure by Downey. The Colonials have to send it behind the net. Zuro along the boards. Gets that up. Colonials keep it in at the blue line. Start putting pressure along that puck. Downey poke checks it out to the far boards. Stoddard with the puck behind the net. Waiting to get set up. We still have 1:19 on our power play. Downey over towards Zuro. Zuro cross ice into Waite in the middle. Waite brings that in. Stutter steps, passes it towards Downey, picked off by the Colonials. Zuro keeps it in, centers it over towards Kaufman. Kaufman with a shot just wide of the net. Downey trying to get it centered. Goes back to Zuro at the blue line. Zuro with a shot saved by the goalie. Loose puck. Waite and Downey trying to get that in. Kaufman keeps that puck in momentarily. The Colonials do get this out. Zuro picks up the puck. Zuro over to Kaufman, or sorry, that's Sakrisky. Colonials hard hit out. Stoddard over to Zuro into the neutral zone. Zuro trying to get to this puck. Wenger back towards Crum to Zuro. Zuro sends it down to the backboards. Sakrisky keeps that in, bounces towards the middle. Zanoble tries to get a shot off, gets deflected. Crum at the blue line. Crum surveying, shot, blocked. Centering pass over to Zanoble. Zanoble with a shot saved by the goalie. Colonials hit this puck around the boards. Crum keeps it in momentarily. The Colonials do poke check that out. Zuro in a foot pursuit will get to this puck first, sends it towards Crum. Unfortunately, the Colonials do keep that in. Crum trying to break up that play along with Zanoble. Crum hits that puck hard around the boards. Colonials keep it in at the top of the circle. Shot, saved by Merrill. I believe that Sakrisky gets it up towards there. Colonials keep it in at the blue line. Shot, deflected. Thankfully, they couldn't deflect it towards the net. Zuro fighting for that puck behind the net there. The Colonials have it at the top of the circle. Zenobel and Wenger trying to get that puck out. So there's going to be a penalty. So Zenobel is going to the box for 2 minutes. The refs are still talking. So it looks like it is going to be a 10-2 for boarding, I believe, although, yeah, so they are sending another one to the box. So 10-2 for Zenobel for boarding. 6:59 left in the first period. The score is still 0-0. It'll be a penalty kill for the Mustangs. So Kaufman there. The Colonials have it at the point. Shot deflected wide. Bilodeau trying to get to that puck. Bilodeau fighting along the boards for this puck. Colonials come away. They pass it around. Stoddard and Knob as well as Kaufman are in there for a penalty kill. The Colonials pick this up behind the net, send it around the boards. Kaufman putting pressure along that puck. Kaufman still fighting to get to that puck. The Colonials come away with it. Colonials towards the middle. Shot saved by Merrill, deflected to the side. Kaufman tried to break up the play. The Colonials send it down behind the net. Knob is fighting to get to this puck. Knob is still fighting for this puck. Kaufman comes in assistance. Colonials come away with it. Colonials have a backdoor. Oh, thankfully they couldn't get that shot off. Bilodeau trying to break up that puck. Bilodeau gets it to the far corner. Bilodeau still fighting. The Colonials come away with it. Pass it back to the blue line. Pass it down behind the net. Stoddard poke checks that. Kaufman trying to get that puck out. The Colonials do keep it in at the circle. Colonials dump it down behind the red line, behind the net. Knob in assistance at the top of the circle over to the top of the blue line. Shot saved by Merrill. The Colonials trying to break up that play. Goes behind the net. Colonials bring it back around. Good job by Knob to try to break up that play. Bilodeau comes away with it. Sends it around the boards towards Kaufman. Kaufman gets that up and out into the neutral zone. Finally, we have 26 seconds left on our power or penalty kill. Unfortunately, the Colonials come in with some speed off of the crossbar and up over the rafters. So a hard shot there off of the crossbar up into the rafters. 5:17 left in the first period. 19 seconds left on our penalty kill. Score still 0-0. So we'll have Eichfeld, Davis, Giesman, and I believe that's Crum. So Colonials at the point. Shot. Walker back to the back wall. Eichfeld does get that out, but I thought he got it out, but I guess still on the blue line. Davis trying to break up that play. The Colonials have this at the red line. Pass it back up to the blue line. Shot deflected off of Giesman's skates. Eichfeld gets that out into the neutral zone. Giesman comes up with it. Giesman and Wilson. Giesman with a shot. Oh, just up over into the netting. So we are back to full strength. 4:43 left in the first period. Score is still 0-0. We'll face off to the left of the goalie. Sakrisky, Downey, Waite, Brooks, and Zuro. Downey with faceoff goes back to Brooks. Brooks over towards Waite. Waite with a shot wide of the net. Zuro will pick it up along the other side. The Colonials have a breakaway. Brooks back there. Good job by Brooks. Another shot by the Colonials, saved by Merrill. Good defense by Brooks there. Good save by Merrill. Zuro picks this up. Zuro over towards Waite. Waite with a shot and saved by the goalie. So lots of back and forth, lots of fast hockey during this game. We face out to the left of the goalie. Sakrisky, Waite, Downey, Sauter, and Zuro. Downey will take the face off, goes over towards the near corner. Pressure along that puck. Unfortunately, that'll be a penalty against Waite, so it'll be a delay penalty for the Colonial, or against us. Zero and start trying to break up that play. So Wade will be going to the box. So there are some skirmishes after the fact. So it looks like Downey is getting kicked out. So there was a little bit of skirmish afterwards. I'm not sure exactly what he's getting kicked out for. So I'm assuming it's something that was said that he got kicked out for. Waite is in the box. So the refs are talking to the benches. So it looks like Lugar's going to the box too, so it must have been a 10-2 against Waite. I'm assuming that they called it for boarding maybe. Or maybe Lugar's going for Downey. And we're going to be 3-on-5 maybe? So I'm trying to figure this all out. I think everybody's trying to figure this all out. They're not putting another penalty up there, so I don't know if Lugar went to the box for a 10-2 against Waite, or if he went to the box to serve a penalty for Downey. It looks like we only have 3 players out on the ice. So it might be a 3-on-5 penalty kill, but there's only 1 penalty up on the scoreboard. It looks like the scorekeeper is asking the refs what is going on, so I think everybody's a little bit confused here. So there is 4:06 left in the first period. Score still 0-0. Per the scoreboard, 4 shots on goal apiece. So it looks like they're putting up a 4-minute penalty for Downey. So I'm assuming that Lugar is serving that 4-minute penalty for Downey. So the puck leaks out into the neutral zone, goes over. Colonials pass it D to D. So we are on a 3-on-5 penalty kill. We have Davis, Wenger, and Knob out there. Shot deflected. Unfortunately, that got deflected in. Oh no, no goal. So why did they call that off? So the ref's calling no goal. Maybe crease violation. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe crease violation. So no goal. So Crum's coming out here. So Crum, Davis, and Wenger. 3-on-5 penalty kill. We still have 1:41 on the first penalty, 3:41 on the second one. Colonials pass it back to the D. Cross ice pass to the neutral zone. D to D pass, bring it into the neutral, their offensive zone. Colonials serving, pass it up to the blue line. Colonials over to the dot. Shot saved by Merrill. Crum is trying to get, Wenger was trying to get that puck, goes to the top of the circle, back to the blue line. Shot, good job by Wenger to break up that play. Colonials regroup back to the circle, up to the blue line, over to the dot. over to the opposite dot. Shot saved by Merrill up into the netting. So the Mustangs are holding strong on this 3-on-5 penalty kill. We have 57 seconds left on our first penalty, 2:57 on the second penalty, 3:02 left in the first period. We are going to have Brooks, Stoddart, and is it Kaufman? I think that's Kaufman. Shot saved by Merrill. Another save by Merrill. Another save by Merrill. Another save by Merrill. Oh, got to get that puck out of there. Another shot saved by Merrill. Good job there by Merrill. Multiple shots in a row there. Top of the circle. Another shot saved by Merrill and covered. So Merrill was standing on his head there. Lots of shots there. Going to have a face-off to the right of Merrill. That first penalty is over, so we at least get another player out there. So we have Zero, Kaufman, Brooks, and shot wide of the net and wait. Colonials have it over at the circle, up to the blue line, over to the circle, over to the opposite circle. Shot saved by Merrill. Another shot there in the middle, another save there. We get that puck out, up to the blue line, down to the circle again. Colonials have it at the red line. Good job by Zero breaking up that play. Up to the blue line again, shot wide of the net, over to the circle. Wait putting pressure along that puck. Good job by Wade. Goes up to the circle, or blue line to the circle. Shot. Nice block by Zero. We do get that puck out. Wade tries to get out. Unfortunately, Kaufman does hit that puck up and out. No icing because it is a penalty kill. The Colonials will pick that up. They are going to regroup. Good back checking there by Giesman. Eichfeld comes in to break up that play momentarily. Knob sends that out into the neutral zone. Eichfeld tries to break up that play. Fans are not happy right now. The Colonials bring that in, now putting pressure. Centering puck goes down and over to the near corner. The Colonials have it up to the top of the circle. Shot saved by Merrill over to the corner. Eichfeld with this puck. Eichfeld sends that down. The Colonials do keep it in. The Colonials from the top of the circle. Nice block there by Eichfeld. Eichfeld with a great block. Eichfeld will go to get to this puck. Eichfeld comes around. Eichfeld behind the net, centering it, tries to get a wraparound save by the goalie. Eichfeld there to try to get it. The Colonials come up with it. The Colonials through the neutral zone. Giesman with some good pressure. Knob tries to get to that puck. Centering past the circle. Shot. Unfortunately, that puck went in. So the Colonials brought that down, centered it, shot, and in. So the Mustangs, they held really strong on that 3-on-5 penalty kill. That went to a 4-on-5 penalty kill, but unfortunately that shot went in. I am not sure if we're going to go back to 5-on-5. Looks like we are going to go back to 5-on-5, so that penalty should... Nope. Nope, so that penalty won't cross. So we still have 43 seconds on our 4-on-5 penalty kill. Although refs are talking to our bench. So this is definitely a lively game here tonight. So Colonials have it back to the blue line, in through the neutral zone. Billadu putting some pressure from Davis, Wenger, Billadu out there for your Mustangs. Hard puck along the boards, kept in by the Colonials. Colonials up to the top, get it out into the neutral zone. The Colonials pass it along the blue line, D-to-D pass. Colonials into the near boards. Bounce it around through the neutral zone. Davis on D. Nice poke check by Davis there. Wenger will pick that up, hits that hard around the boards and out. 10 seconds left on our penalty kill. Billadu putting pressure along this puck. Colonials have it. 2 seconds left. 1 second left. We are back to full strength. Davis hits that puck up. The Colonials will regroup, and that'll be the end of the first period. So at the end of the first period, the Colonials are ahead 1-0. We are finally back to full strength hockey for the Mustangs. Per the scoreboard, the Mustangs have 4 shots on goal and the Colonials 9 shots on goal. So lots of intense hockey this first period. Lots of high contact hockey in the first period. So again, this is the quarterfinal game for the Mid-Atlantic Summer Showcase. It's a winner go home. So there are 18 teams in our division. We play 3 round robin games, and the top 8 go into the quarterfinals, and then the winners go into semifinals and then championship game. And this is the 16UAA Mustangs against the Valley Forge Colonials. So Merrill's going to our net on the right. We are going to have Waite, Wilson, Zuro, Brooks, I believe we're missing one, and Kaufman out there. So Kaufman, Waite, Wilson, Brooks, and Zuro. Getting ready to start the second period, 15 minutes up on the clock. The ref is over talking to the bench. So Kaufman will take his face off. Puck leaks back. Zuro will go collect, changes directions. Zuro gets into the boards. Zuro and Kaufman fighting to get to this puck. Brooks in assistance. Zuro comes up with the puck, sends it around. Wilson to go over along the far boards. Kaufman and Brooks trying to get to this puck. The Colonials send it up. Wilson breaks up that play momentarily. Colonials have it at the top of the circle. Good block there by Zuro. Kaufman gets that puck out, and that'll be icing. So face off to the left of Merrill. So Wanger, Sakrisky, Giesman, Crum, and Davis. So the puck leaks around. The Colonials keep this in. Shot wide of the net. Colonials come over to the top of the boards there. Davis behind the net gets it over towards Crum. Crum off of the boards, out into the neutral zone. Crum trying to get to that. The Colonials do dump it down and around. Davis will go over to the far boards. Sakrisky trying to get to this puck. Davis fighting for the puck along the boards. Davis and Sakrisky leaks out towards Wanger. Wanger up towards Crum. Crum over towards Davis. Davis up to Sakrisky in the neutral zone. Sakrisky brings this in. Sakrisky into the corner, sends it around towards Giesman. Giesman fighting to get to that puck. The Colonials hit this up. Crum keeps it in at the blue line, but it does leak out. Sakrisky will send this back. There is going to be a penalty for that one. Crum fighting for this puck. Merrill skating for his life to get over to the bench. But as soon as he gets there, a whistle blows. So that'll be a penalty against the Colonials. I believe it'll be for tripping. Yep, so Colonials going to the box for 2 minutes for tripping, so we'll be on a power play for 2 minutes. 13:20 left in the second period. The Colonials are ahead 1-0. Waite, Eichfeld, Zuro, Stoddard, and Kaufman. So Waite with the face-off, gets it towards the corner. Colonials hit that up. Zuro keeps it in at the blue line. Zuro to Eichfeld. Eichfeld brings it around. Eichfeld down behind the red line. Eichfeld serving. Gets it to Kaufman. Kaufman circling, drops it for Zuro. Zuro back to Eichfeld. Eichfeld to Kaufman. Kaufman behind the net over to Stoddard. Stoddard back to Kaufman. Kaufman brings it around to Stoddard. Stoddard from the blue line, shot saved by the goalie. The Colonials send this up. Zero keeps it in. High bouncing puck will go back to Stoddard. Stoddard sends it to Zero. The Mustangs will regroup. We have 1:12 left in our power play. Gets it to Waite. Waite brings it into the offensive zone. Waite from around the red line. Bounces it off the boards to Zero. Zero to Waite. Waite over to Stoddard. Stoddard with a shot deflected, saved by the goalie. Zero brings us to the top of the circle. Shot saved by the goalie. Eichfeld along that corner. Colonials come up with it, send it out. Good job by Stoddard to keep that puck in at the blue line. Colonials hit that out. Stoddard does keep it in. The Mustangs have to, or keeps it there, but the Mustangs have to get back on sides. They do dump it down. Zero will pick this up. Zero, oh, unfortunately the Colonials pick that off in the zone. Zero goes down with that puck. Stoddard over to Bilodeau. Bilodeau in through the neutral zone. Bilodeau passes it towards Eichfeld. Colonials pick this up behind the net. We have 13 seconds left in our power play. Stoddard will go back to collect behind the net. 6 seconds left. The Colonials have this puck. They're Wenger and Stoddard trying to get to this puck. The Colonials come up with it behind the net. Zero with pressure to break up that play. Sakrisky in assistance. Zero breaks up that play as well. The Colonials have it behind the net. Zero trying to get it out. Sakrisky sends it around towards Bilodeau. Bilodeau gets that puck. Bilodeau gets that out towards Wenger. The Colonials do dump it back down. The Colonials are back to full strength. Stoddard will pick this up behind the net. Hard pass up towards Bilodeau in the neutral zone. Bilodeau sends it into the offensive zone. The Colonials get out into the neutral zone. The Colonials bring it in. Good job by Stoddard to break up that play momentarily. Centering pass, broken up. Sakrisky comes away with it. Sakrisky through the neutral zone, dumps it down, but unfortunately that hits the netting. So 10:27 left in the second period. The Mustangs are still down 1-0. We will have Davis, Crum, Lugar, Giesman, and Wilson for the Mustangs. So Giesman with the face-off. So the puck leaks back to Davis. Davis changes directions, gets it up to Wilson. Wilson gets it out towards Giesman. Giesman up towards Lugar. The Colonials hit it towards the far boards. Wilson putting pressure along that puck. The Colonials bring it in. Crum with a check to break up that play. Davis passes it back up to Crum to Wilson. Wilson towards the middle out into the neutral zone. The Colonials will have to get back on sides. Davis picks up this puck. Oh, unfortunately, Davis loses that puck. Still fighting for it. Davis gets it over, but the Colonials have it behind the net. Giesman in there to break up that play. Good hit there. Still fighting for that puck. Gets it up towards Lugar. Poke check by the Colonials. Davis gets it out towards Crum. Crum brings it in through the neutral zone. Oh, hard hit there. So this game is definitely getting rough. So Crum is going to the box. So Crum is going to the box for 2 minutes. I did not see what the penalty was for. We're going to have Knob, Brooks, Waite, and Zanoble. So Zanoble's out after his penalty. So the Colonials have that up at the blue line. Pass it back to the circle. Brooks putting pressure along that puck. Colonials send it up. Zanoble poke checks it, but the Colonials keep it at the blue line. Colonials over to the top of the circle. Colonials with a shot Saved by Merrill. I thought that hit the netting, but I guess not. The Colonials have this puck, not putting pressure along with Zanoble. Zanoble still trying to get to this puck. Knob and assistance. Knob sends that puck hard out. No icing because we are on the penalty kill. So Waite will pick up this puck as the Colonials miss it. Oh, he tries to center it to Zanoble. Fortunately, gets stuck there. Waite will keep this into the zone. Waite comes over, tries to get it to Zanoble. Zanoble fighting for this puck along the boards. So it looks like the Colonials will be going to the box for cross-checking. And it looks like Zanoble might be going to the box for cross-checking too. So those will be offsetting penalties for cross-checking. Unfortunately, in this tournament, once you get 3 penalties, you're out. They don't want you to get to the 4 penalties for the suspension. So in this tournament, 3 penalties and you're out. So unfortunately, Zanoble had the 10 and 2, and then this penalty. So we were down both Zanoble and Downey, who are out. Crum is in the box for a minute 4. Looks like we're on a 4-on-5. So it goes to 0-0 over to Brooks. Brooks up to Waite. Waite hits that down. The Colonials pick this up behind the net into the neutral zone. Brooks gets that out into the offensive zone. Bildu will put pressure along this puck. The Colonials get this into the neutral zone. Eichfeld hits that down towards the back of the net. Colonials cross ice pass into the neutral zone, and that'll be offsides. So 24 seconds left on our penalty kill. 8:01 left in the second period. We are still down 1-0. So we're going to have Knob. Nope. So we're going to keep 0, Stoddard, Biladu, and Eichfeld out there for the Mustangs. So Eichfeld with that face-off goes down on net, saved by the goalie. The goalie will leave it for their player. Colonials get this into the neutral zone. Biladu will pick this up, passes it over towards Eichfeld. Eichfeld dumps it down to the back of the net. Eichfeld centers it to Biladu. Biladu with a shot, saved by the goalie. Good attempt there. So we are back to full strength. The Colonials have this behind the red line. Good job by Knob to break up that play. The puck goes behind the net, coming around towards the middle. Good job by Kaufman to break up that play. Biladu comes up with the puck, gets it out into the neutral zone. Bouncing puck blocked by Knob. Knob through the neutral zone to Kaufman. Goes back towards Knob. Knob up towards Biladu. The Colonials send this back down again. Sutter hits it up. Colonials are playing ping pong back in the neutral zone there. Knob will pick this in the near corner, sends it up to Kaufman. Kaufman gives it out into the neutral zone. Back to the D, cross ice pass there. Sutter picks that up. Unfortunately, the Colonials are there to get that shot. Nice save by Merrill there. Good job by Kaufman to get that over to the boards. Wenger trying to get to that puck. Wenger sends it around. Kaufman will pick this up behind the net, brings it around. Kaufman sends it up, but the Colonials will keep that in. Wenger put a good pressure along that puck. Wenger and Knob trying to get to it. The Colonials have it. Shot. Good job by Sutter to break up that play. Good job by Wenger to break up that play. Still trying to get to it. Knob over along the boards to break up that play. Knob and Lugar coming in. The Colonials have it along the far boards. Pass it D to D at the blue line. Dump it down to behind the net. Get out into the front. Thankfully, they have anybody there. Kaufman sends it down. and that'll be icing. So 6:05 left in the second period. The score is still 1-0 in favor of the Colonials. We'll face off to the left of Merrill. We're going to have Crum, Davis, Waite, Giesman, and Sakrisky. So Giesman with the face-off. Puck still sitting there. Giesman still trying to get to that puck. Leaks over to the top of the circle. Shot off of the post. Giesman trying to get to that puck. Davis changes directions over to Crum. Crum behind the net. Passes it up along the boards and out. Ooh, we have a streaking Waite. Waite comes around. Oh, unfortunately, poke check by the Colonials. Davis will pick this up in the neutral zone. Davis dumps it down after we get back on sides. The Colonials pick this up behind the net. Good job by Waite to break up that play. Waite still fighting for that puck. Unfortunately, it's going to be a penalty. So it looks like Waite is going to be going to the box for roughing. So we'll be on a penalty kill again for 2 minutes. So 5:28 left in the second period. We'll face off to the right of Merrill. Davis, Crum, Giesman, and Sakrisky on our penalty kill. So Giesman trying to get to that puck. The Colonials have it at the blue line. Send it to the circle, back up to the blue line. Centering pass, back over to the dot, up to the blue line. Shot saved by Merrill. Crum picks up that puck, wraps it around, gets it out into the neutral zone. The Colonials will regroup in the neutral zone. Giesman putting pressure along that puck. The Colonials circle around, bring it into the offensive zone, pass it over. Good poke check there by Crum. The Colonials send it up to the blue line. The Colonials circling, pass it over to the top of the circle, towards the middle. Thankfully, they couldn't connect. Sakrisky picks up this puck. He has some speed through the neutral zone. Sakrisky passes over to Giesman. Unfortunately, Giesman gets tied up there. Sakrisky will pick up this puck. Gets out into the neutral zone. Zero will pick this up. Zero regrouping. We still have 58 seconds left on our penalty kill. Zero to Sakrisky. Sakrisky back to Zero. Zero over to Brooks. Brooks crosses past to Eichfeld. Nice pass there. Eichfeld has one man to beat. Eichfeld turns around. Oh, unfortunately, he just lost an edge there. The Colonials pick this up. The Colonials bring it through the neutral zone. Biladu putting pressure along that puck. Poke checks it out to the corner. Biladu and Zero putting pressure along this puck. Biladu comes away with it, sends it up, but the Colonials keep it in. Colonials dump it down towards the corner. Colonials bring it around. Good poke check there by Eichfeld. Biladu gets it out through the neutral zone. Biladu in a foot pursuit. The goalie will come up to play it. Eichfeld keeps that puck in. Good job there by Eichfeld. Eichfeld with a shot saved by the goalie. So good attempts there on the Mustangs on our penalty kill. We still have 8 seconds left on our penalty kill. 3:35 left in the second period. The score is still 1-0 in favor of the Colonials. We have Wanger, Kaufman, Stoddard, and Knob on a face-off to the left of the goalie. Wanger goes back to Stoddard. Stoddard with a stop shot, unfortunately, gets blocked by the Colonials. Stoddard with a check to break up that play, but the Colonials come up with it. Colonials with a shot saved by Merrill and covered. So we'll face off to the left of Merrill. Wanger with his face off. We are back to full strength. The Colonials send this up towards the blue line. Wanger and Kaufman trying to get this puck out. Wanger does get it out into the neutral zone. The Colonials regroup. We have Wilson, Stoddard, Knob, Kaufman, and Wanger out there. Knob sends this around the boards. Colonials keep it in. Wanger dumps it down, but the Colonials keep it in. Kaufman poke checks that. The Colonials have it in the middle, dump it down to the near corner. Colonials bring it around. Good job by the Mustangs to break that play momentarily. The good poke check by Knob to get it over towards Stoddart. Stoddart gets that puck into the middle to Wilson. Wilson to Kaufman. Nice pass there. Kaufman with a shot, saved by the goalie. Kaufman still fighting for this puck. Wenger in assistance. Wenger to Kaufman. Kaufman comes in, tries to get a backhanded shot, and the goalie saved it. Wenger still trying to get that puck. Puck is still loose along the near boards. The Colonials will pick this up, bring it through the neutral zone. Cross ice pass there. Wilson with a check there to break out that play. Nice hit there by Wilson. Wait brings up this puck. Gets into the neutral zone. Wait with a great speed through that, and unfortunately down. So I'm not 100% sure what happened with that one, but it looks like the Colonials are going to the box. So the Colonials are going to the box for roughing, it looks like. So we will be on a power play. So the Mustangs will be on a power play for 2 minutes, 2:06 left in the second period. The Mustangs are fired up. Eastman with that face-off. We have Waite, Sakrisky, Crum, and Davis. The puck leaks out. Davis will go back to collect. Davis picks up that puck behind the net. Leaves it for Sakrisky. Sakrisky brings it into the neutral zone. Sakrisky around. Sakrisky still bringing it. Drops it for Crum. Crum with a shot. Oh, that was a hard block by the Colonials into the netting. So we'll have a face-off to the right of the goalie. We still have, not sure how much on that power play because the clock is missing a couple numbers. So hard pass by the Colonials. Merrill will go back to play this. Merrill leaves it for Davis. Davis serving. Davis changes directions, passes it over to Sakrisky. Sakrisky brings it through the neutral zone. Sakrisky drops it for Crum. Crum brings it to the middle. Shot saved by the goalie. Sakrisky in the corner sends it back to Crum. Crum from the blue line back to Sakrisky. Sakrisky at the top of the circle. Sakrisky gets it over towards Davis. The Colonial circle around. Crum will pick up this puck. Crum into the middle, shot wide of the net. Waite will pick this along the far boards, dumps it for Giesman behind the net. Giesman fighting to get to this puck. Sakrisky picks up this puck. Sakrisky still fighting for this puck. Giesman in assistance gets it to Waite. Waite off of the boards to Crum. Crum over to Davis. Davis with a shot, deflected high over the net. Sakrisky trying to get to this. Davis keeps it in. Davis trying to get there around that player. We have, I think, 10 seconds left in our power play. Gets it there. Waite tries to get the shot off, deflected. Crum tries to get a shot off. The goalie saves it. Sakrisky still has it behind the net. Gets it to Waite. Waite tries to get it backhanded, deflected. Waite unfortunately gets knocked down. Giesman trying to get to this puck. And that'll be the end of the second period. So this is an extremely lively game. So some entertainment for your Saturday night. Thank you everybody for joining us. Again, this is the quarterfinal game of the 16U AA Mid-State Mustangs against the Valley Forge Colonials. It's a win or go home quarterfinal game for the Mid-Atlantic Summer Showcase. Per the scoreboard, the Mustangs have 12 shots on goal and the Colonials have 14 shots on goal. The score is 1-0 in favor of the Colonials. Unfortunately, there have been multiple penalties in this game from both sides. We are down Downey and Zenoble, who are out after penalties. In this tournament, once you get 3 penalties, they have you go out so that you don't get the 4th one to get a suspension for the next game. So we're going to have Wenger, Eichfeld, Billadu, Brooks, and Zero out for the Mustangs. Merrill on the net to our left. 15 minutes to start the 3rd period. And we love that all the younger Mustangs are here supporting us. Makes for a lively crowd. Eichfeld picks up this puck. Eichfeld with a shot saved by the goalie. Billadu trying to get to this puck. The Colonials do get it out. Colonials serving, dump it down to behind the red line. Zero fighting to get this puck along with Wenger. The Colonials hit it along the near boards. Brooks comes in with a nice check to break. What? Oh wait, it might be against the Colonials. Oh no, it is Brooks for interference. Okay, so Brooks going to the box for interference. I thought that was a check, but I guess that's an interference. 14:32 left in the 3rd period. We'll face up to the right of Merrill. We have Giesman, Zuro, Stoddart, and Kaufman. DDD pass by the Colonials. Colonials send it up to the blue line. Colonials pass it back up to the blue line. Colonials with a shot blocked by Kaufman. Colonials keep it in at the red circle. Good job by Zuro to pick off that puck. Dumps it down. The goalie will play it. Ooh, he doesn't play it very well. Giesman comes in. The goalie is out of net. Unfortunately, you're wrapped around too much. Giesman does get it towards the middle before the Colonials pick this up. The Colonials behind the net. Kaufman putting pressure along the puck. We still have a minute 16 on our penalty kill. D-to-D pass by the Colonials. Colonials bringing it in through the neutral zone. Colonials keep it in the neutral zone. Good pickoff by Waite momentarily. Colonials circling around. Bring it to the circle. Pass it back to the top of the circle. Shot high over the net. Goes right along the rim there. Out. Waite is in pursuit of this puck. D-to-D pass by the Colonials. They dump it around behind the net. Wenger putting some pressure along that puck along with Waite. Colonials have it in the neutral zone. Colonials, good poke check there by Stoddart. Stoddart hits that puck up, and the Colonials keep it in at the blue line. Stoddart tries to break up that play. The Colonials dump it behind the net. Colonials over to the circle. Saved by Merrill. Wenger trying to get to that puck. Good job by Davis there to break up that play. Stoddart hits that puck out to Giesman. Giesman with one man to beat. Giesman tries to get a shot off, deflected. So it looks like high sticking against somebody. Is it high sticking? Okay, so it looks like the Colonials. Yeah. So the Colonials are going to go to the box for 2 minutes for high sticking. I did not see that. I do apologize. 12:26 left in the 3rd period. The score is still 1-0 in favor of the Colonials. So a face off to the left of the goalie. We'll have Zero and Starter on D, Eichfeld, Sakrisky, and Kaufman on offense. Eichfeld with the face-off. Sakrisky trying to get to that puck. The Colonials do come away with it. The Colonials dump it down. Zero in pursuit of this puck. The Colonials are there. Zero breaks up that play. Starter trying to get to that puck. The puck is still behind the net. Starter changes directions over to Zero. Zero over along the boards to Eichfeld. Eichfeld through the neutral zone. Broken up by the Colonials who dump it down. Merrill will come out to play this. Gets it to Stoddart. Stoddart will take this puck out over towards Sakrisky. Sakrisky brings it through the neutral zone. Sakrisky fighting to get to this puck. Zero at the blue line over to Stoddart. Stoddart with a shot deflected behind the net. Kaufman comes in along with Eichfeld. The puck leaks out. We still have 1:05 on our power play. Zero comes in to try to get to this puck. Still fighting for the puck behind the net. Stoddart comes in assistance. Stoddart and Zero trying to get to this puck. Stoddart comes away with it. Stoddart surveying, brings it through the neutral zone. Stoddart brings it into the offensive zone, dumps it down. Giesman picks up this puck along the backboards. Giesman and Wenger trying to get to this puck. Oh, bounced off of the Colonials bench. Is that 2 seconds left on the penalty? Or 50, 32? I don't know. There's some numbers out on, or light bulbs out on the scoreboard, so I'm not sure exactly how many seconds are left on our power play. But we have Wenger, Billadou, Giesman, Davis, and Knob. So Knob tries to keep that in and does. Gets it to Billadou. Billadou trying to get it over towards Knob. Knob with a shot, sticked over to the corner by the goalie. The Colonials dump this down. Merrill will play it, leaves it over towards Knob. The Colonials send it behind the net. Giesman and comes in along with Davis, still fighting for this puck. Giesman comes away with it, gets it towards Waite. Waite over to Billadou. Billadou back towards Waite. The Colonials are back to full strength. Colonials dump this down. Should be icing because they are back to full strength, and it is. So 10:06 left in the third period. The score is still 1-0 in favor of the Colonials. We have Sakrisky, Waite, Zero, Crum, and Brooks on a face-off to the right of the goalie. So Colonials pick this up behind the net, loop it around. Brooks trying to keep that in. The puck does leak out. The Colonials have this into the neutral zone. Crum back on D. Nice poke check by Crum. Zero picks this up. Colonials keep it in. Shot wide of the net. Leaks over to the near boards. Brooks fighting to get to this puck. We do get it out into the neutral zone. Waite skating to get to that puck. Sakrisky in the neutral zone, fighting for this puck along the boards. Sakrisky still fighting for this puck along the boards. Sakrisky gets it over towards Zero. The Colonials dump it down. Crum will go back to collect. Crum hits it around the boards. Colonials keep it in. Colonials with a shot wide of the net. Crum will keep this puck over along those far boards. Zero trying to get that up towards Waite. Crum with the puck. Unfortunately, the Colonials take that away. Colonials center it shot, saved by Merrill off of his face mask. Crum gets it towards Sakrisky behind the net. The Colonials pick this off momentarily. Sakrisky still trying to get to it. Centering pass by the Colonials. Crum trying to break that up. Shot saved by Merrill. High bouncing puck. Merrill tries to get to it. Oh, get back. Sakrisky trying to get to that puck. The Colonials have it behind the net. Colonials over towards the far boards. Waite dumps that puck down, and that'll be icing. So much needed stoppage there for the Mustangs. 8:34 left in the third period. Score still 1-0. in favor of the Colonials. We'll face off to the left of Merrill, Stoddard, Davis, Lugar, Eichfeld, and I believe that's Kaufman. Shot wide of the net, leaks over around the far boards. Puck goes behind the net. Davis trying to get to this puck, changes directions over towards Kaufman. Kaufman sends it up to Eichfeld. Eichfeld gets it out into the neutral zone. Eichfeld around that player, brings it through the neutral zone. Eichfeld brings it in. Eichfeld still along the boards there. And that's going to be a penalty. I believe that penalty will be against the Colonials, but it's hard to see in that corner there. Yeah, so the Colonials will be going to the box for roughing. So we'll be on a power play again for 2 minutes. Face out to the left of the goalie. We have Waite, Zero, Sakrisky, Davis, and Crum. So Sakrisky with the face off. The Colonials dump this puck down. Crum in pursuit. Crum changes direction, sends it up to Zero. The Colonials have it in the neutral zone. They dump it down. Stick down by Davis. Davis serving, takes it behind the net, leaves it for Zero. Zero brings it around. Zero over to Sakrisky. Sakrisky brings it into the offensive zone. Sakrisky still with the puck, drops it for Davis. Davis brings it around. Davis at the top of the circle, dumps it to Zero. Zero with a shot. Oh, Wade tries to get that rebound in. I don't know how that puck stayed out. So Zero with that pass over to Wade. Wade gets that shot off. I don't know how that did not go in the net. So good try there by the Mustangs. 7:18 left in the third period. We still have, I think, 1:14 left on our power play. So Sakrisky, Waite, Zero, Davis, and Crum still out there on a face-off to the left of the goalie. So Davis with the puck brings it around over to Crum. Crum with a shot saved by the goalie. Zero trying to get to this puck, gets it to Sakrisky. Sakrisky to Waite. Waite back up to Davis. Davis over to Waite. Waite serving over. Oh, unfortunately, just out of reach there. The Colonials will come up with this through the neutral zone. Davis breaks up that play. Colonials pick this up in the corner. Davis fighting for that puck along with Crum. Davis and Crum trying to get to that puck. So we do come away with it. Gets it over to Zero. Zero up towards Sakrisky and Waite. Sakrisky dumps it down along the far boards. Sakrisky still fighting for it. Waite comes away with it, tries to get it back to Crum. Crum keeps it in the blue line. Shot saved by the goalie. Stoddard keeps that puck. Unfortunately, that just leaked out. So offsides. So 6:24 left in the third period. So we have Eichfeld, Wenger, Giesman, Knob, and Stoddard. Knob will go back. Stoddard picks up this puck, sends it up the boards. Wenger trying to get to that puck. Wenger still fighting for that puck. Stoddard takes it behind the net. Stoddard serving, hard pass. Oh, unfortunately, the Colonials glove it down there. Good poke check by Knob. Knob gives it up to Giesman. Giesman dumps it down to the far corner, goes behind the net. Giesman still trying to get to this puck. Giesman and Wenger. Centering pass. Oh, unfortunately, we couldn't get a shot off. Stoddard to Eichfeld. Eichfeld brings it to the red line behind the net. Eichfeld leaves it for Giesman. Giesman to Wenger. Wenger serving, sends it towards the middle, shot by Eichfeld, saved by the goalie. So good attempt there by the Mustangs, good save by the goalie. So 5:34 left in the third period. We have Wilson, Billadou, Kaufman, Stoddard, and Knob. And face off to the right of the goalie. So Kaufman will take this face off. The Colonials come away with it, bring it behind the net, pass it to the near boards, into the middle, and that'll be icing. So face off to the left of the goalie. So Kaufman shot, flick a lob shot, gets it to Kaufman with the Colonials come up with it. Poke checked by Kaufman. Keep that puck in. Billadou comes in to try to get to that puck. The Colonials come up with it. Kaufman breaks it up momentarily. Fire up to Billadou. Billadou dumps it down. The puck goes behind the net. Wilson will go into the corner. Billadou in the middle. Shot and in! So Wilson got that puck over to the middle. Billadou with a shot and in. So that'll tie it up. So we're tied 1-1. Great job there by the Mustangs. So 4:47 left in the third period. We're tied 1-1. Per the scoreboard, the Mustangs have 20 shots on goal. The Colonials 22 shots on goal. Lots of energy in this arena tonight. So Sakrisky, Zuro, Waite, Davis, and Stoddard. So Sakrisky fighting to get to this puck, goes behind the net. Zuro along the near boards. Davis trying to keep that puck in, does dump it down. Sakrisky behind the net fighting to get to this puck. Changes directions, Waite in there. Waite centers it, oh, unfortunately a little bit too much. Crum comes back, picks up this puck, cross ice pass over to Stoddard. Stoddard cross ice pass towards Waite. Waite tips it in. Waite still trying to get to this puck. The Colonials get it out into the neutral zone. The Colonials bring it into the offensive zone. They dump it down. Shot wide of the net. The Colonials keep it in, dump it back down. Sakrisky and Stoddard break up that play. Wraps around Zuro along the near boards, gets it up towards Waite. Waite over towards Stoddard. Stoddard through the neutral zone. Stoddard dumps it down after he gains the red line. The Colonials bring it from behind the net. Zuro putting good pressure along there. Sakrisky keeps it in. The Colonials do come up with it. Colonials through. Good job poke checking by Sakrisky. Colonials do get to this. Stoddard breaks up the play. Stoddard up to Waite. Waite dumps it down. We have 3:33 left. Colonial D-to-D pass. Sends it up along the boards into the neutral zone. Broken up momentarily by Eichfeld. Eichfeld breaks up that play again. Stoddard gets that up towards Zuro. Or sorry, that was Giesman that gets it up towards Zuro. The Colonials bring it through. Giesman putting pressure along that puck. They dump it behind the net. Crum behind the net over towards Eichfeld. Eichfeld dumps it behind the net again. Brooks hard pass along the boards towards Eichfeld. The Colonials come up with it. Crum and Wenger come in to fight for that puck. Wenger comes up with it. Wenger behind the net. Stutter steps. Wenger cross ice pass. Colonials pick this off. They have to get back on sides. They dump it down. Glove down by Crum. Eichfeld trying to get that puck out. Mustangs do break that up. Brooks comes away with it. Brooks passes it. So it looks like the Colonials will be going to the box for cross-checking. So Colonials to the box for 2 minutes for cross-checking. So we'll be on a power play for 2 minutes. We have 2:33 left in the third period. We're tied 1-1. This is definitely a high-energy, physical game. Lots of support here for the Mustangs. We appreciate all the teams coming out and watching us after their games. We have Sakrisky, Zuro, Davis, Waite, and Crum on a face-off to the right of the goalie. Oh, hold on. Oh, can you? Okay, I've got to go for a minute. Yeah, I've got to go for a minute here. Go.
All right, so Sakrisky has it, taking it down into the zone here. Comes up to Davis at the point. Shot. Another shot. Sakrisky, the corner here. Davis is going to go collect this one. There's about 1 minute, 51 seconds left, even though the clock says 2:30. We'll have a penalty down to about 30 seconds left here. Unless we can score. Oh, shot. It's just wide. Got 1:32 left. Comes out the starter. The point here. Just can't quite keep it in there. Zoro over to Waite. Shot is blocked. Got 1:16 left. We're on a break here. Colonials. Risky. We're all still on net here. I got Tesoro. Shot deflected. Chris Wanger comes up. And the shot. We got 38 seconds left. 8 seconds left on the penalty. Another second or two. That's back to full strength. Eichfeld has it. Taking it down in the zone here. Comes out. He presses it out to Stoddard has it. Zoro. Zoro has it in the corner. Zoro. Down corner, that'll do it for the. Looks like we're going to go to. I think we go to overtime for. Is it 5 or 10 minutes? Sudden death overtime. So we got quite a game going on here. Kelly's just down checking on someone. I think someone might have gotten hurt, I guess.
Sudden death overtime, 3-on-3, 10 minutes. Goalies remain.
And then 3 shootout, right, like 3 at a time. Shootout after.
If no winner in the 10 minutes, 3 players shoot out until winning.
So you hear that? So it's a 10-minute sudden death overtime. All right, so we're off overtime here. 3-on-3. McCrum has it. The blue line here. Colonials are taking it around. We got Sakrisky, Crum, and Wanger. Unfortunately, that'll do it. Nobody wants to see that. But. So the Mustangs will lose here in overtime. So Haley's coming back. I don't know if she'll have any words to say, but it's quite the game. All right, so thanks everyone for joining in. We're gonna just go ahead and end here. Appreciate everybody watching tonight. Thanks. Bye.